Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make a garlic and herb cheese ball. If you're wondering why I'm laughing, I screwed up the opening like 4 times in a row. Anyways, we're in the holidays there, Christmas, New Year's, right? Parties all around. And if you watch this at another time of the year, this stuff is awesome for any kind of whatever. And you can actually use it in other recipes as well, but I'll get to that further down the road. Okay, now you can vary the cheeses if you want. I find this a really good combination. Here's the list of ingredients. I weigh my cheese because I have got a big container for the cream cheese, and I've got an open one for the goat cheese. If you can get 4 and 8 ounce packs, great. Now, for the cream cheese, I weigh it on parchment on the scale, and for the goat cheese, it's really crumbly. So if you do it on parchment, it'll go everywhere. So I do that one in a bowl. Now, if you don't have any parchment, just use bowls. It's just the cream cheese is going to be a little gooey to get out. Okay, first thing you want to do is get the garlic ready. So just trim the end and just do a fine mince on that. I'm going to be using the mortar and pestle. Now, if you don't have one of those, you can chop it like really, really fine and then work it on the board. I just find that easier. This part doesn't have to be perfect because after all, using a mortar, it's just the finer you get it, the faster it's going to go. Now, get a spoon of, you're going to use 2 teaspoons of this, but it's divided. So put 1 teaspoon of Finzel, or fine herbs, as you might call it where you are. And definitely do use this combination. Don't switch it up, it will not taste the same, okay? So just put those in together and grind that up. It's going to be my New Year's resolution to try not to block my own shots anymore. I may be ambidextrous by the end of next year. That's good enough for now. There's a certain order you can do this in. I like to get all the chopping done out of the way at the beginning. Now the Asiago that I can get is in these shreds like this. And you're going to have a much nicer texture if you chop it up. Once you have that chopped up, transfer it to a bowl. Add the Parmesan and the rest of the herbs. Mix that up and set it aside. Now I know it's your cheese ball, but I'll tell you right now, if you don't use full fat sour cream for this, you will not get the same flavor, okay? This is meant to be like a treat, alright? This is not the time to be, losing weight and counting calories. Weigh the cream cheese. I use good quality for this stuff. Don't skimp on this stuff either. Oh, yeah, okay, 122 grams. 4 ounces, 120 grams. We're good. Gee, you'd think I'd done this before or something. Moving back to our work area, just as if you were making an ointment. Add, let's see if I can get around to the right hand. There you go. Okay. Add a bit of the cream cheese. Mix that in. Put in another portion. Once all the cream cheese is in, use your spatula and add that to the Parmesan herb mixture. It really is worth getting a good silicone spatula because you can just get like everything out of the corners. Okay, so use the spatula to get as much of the cheese mixture as you can off the pestle. Got another spoon, so I already got some stuff on it. Gently work that in without having your powdered cheeses fly all over the counter is good. Good enough. I'm going to be working the goat cheese in next. This is soft, unripened goat cheese, and if you've never worked with this before, you'll see it's very crumbly. But if you've ever had those highly expensive herb and cheese packages that cost a lot of money, you will recognize the texture. And I will not say the name for copyright violation, but you know what I'm getting at here. 242 grams, good enough. And as you can see from the texture, trying to do this on a piece of parchment would just not be workable at all. The reason I got rid of that spoon and I'm using a big metal spoon is that this bit is really creamy, but the goat cheese is extremely thick, and this will thicken up really quickly. I advise you just put in the goat cheese in small clumps and work it through with your spoon, turning the bowl. If you try to dump it all in at once to save a couple of minutes, it's not going to come out as nicely. Once you have that all mixed in, you're ready to transfer it. And I'm using the spatula now. As you can see, the stuff is so thick that it even bends the silicone. That's why I was using a metal spoon. So once you got that all nice and even, and you may recognize the texture, you're ready to transfer it to another bowl to set up in the fridge. Get a deep bowl, and what I did is you're going to lay out 2 strips of plastic wrap crossways. Then start transferring it. I keep all the dirty spoons around because you never know when you're going to need one. Like all the spoons I used in the recipe, because this is actually easier than a big spoon. And you're going to want all the good stuff in there. Once you got all of it in, grab both sides like you're making a bow. Turn it and squeeze it. Now obviously this is not ready for prime time. You could not plate this now unless you were in a desperate hurry, and it would be really soft. Now if you've got some fancy mold you want to use, by all means do that. It doesn't have to be a ball. I just find it looks nicer on the plate. Now some people roll these things in chopped nuts or other herbs. Personally, this needs no adornment, and you can just serve it like that. You'll see at the end. Once that's to your liking, and making sure there's no leaks at the bottom, that you've got everything covered. If you're not sure, put another piece in the bottom so it doesn't leak. Put it in your bowl, and set this in the fridge to set up for a couple hours at least. It's been in the fridge for about 4 hours now, and I'll zoom in so you can see the test. Now, obviously, you don't want to wreck your presentation. What I'm really getting at here is if you touch it gently and it doesn't mush in, then you're fine, right? Like, you don't want to just stick your thumb in it and leave a mark that won't come out, but that's set. Gently pull off your saran wrap, and then take your plate, which is hopefully not too large. Now, if you are going to use a larger plate, decide where you're going to put it, or put it on some parchment or slide it later. So basically put your plate on top of it and then just turn it over and gently peel it off. And you can see where I stuck my thumb in there, so you can like put a sprig of parsley or something, alright? Or I'll just turn it around so no one can see it. Don't tell. Okay, then obviously yours is going to be much nicer than this. These are just like show crackers right now. Okay, and then just put some crackers around the side. And that is how you make a garlic and herb cheese ball. Now I will slice this for you so you can get an idea of the consistency. I know what this tastes like, so I don't even really need to do this, but for completeness sake there. And another cracker. One of the things we do for our art, eh? See, as you can see, it's got a very nice spreading consistency. Just like the stuff at the store. Okay. Oh, that's so good. You're just going to have to make your own. Okay, thanks for watching. Do subscribe, and I hope to see you again. And Happy New Year.